Mark and Grace back again, Noble Notary Signing Service. So as a notary in some states, you can actually be a wedding officiant or solemnize marriages, as we call it in the state handbook. Florida being one of them, South Carolina. I think Tennessee's on board with this as well. Now, even if you weren't, even if you couldn't do it as a notary, it's still incredibly simple to become an ordained minister for the most part. I think you can actually do it online for a couple of bucks. Yeah. But so nevertheless, you can actually make a career out of being a wedding officiant alone if you built up a good book of business, a good online presence, lots of referrals. That could be a sole income. Mm-hmm. Now, it's not for us, but we do like to, we like to meet everybody where they're at. So let's talk about the different types of, I guess, marriages or solemnizations that you might have.
Yeah, so I mean, there are different types. We've kind of run into some discrepancy with other wedding officiants. I'll just explain what had happened. So we have, we run a signing service, and we had a couple that just wanted to, shotgun wedding. They wanted to, they wanted us to travel to them. They do have to say the vows, real quick. I do situation.
Right. So they're looking for, these are what I call the justice of the peace marriages. Yeah. Hey, here's our papers. Can somebody just do the thing so it's legit?
And, notarize the marriage certificate. Of course, we said yes, and it was in an area that we weren't willing to travel, so we paged that out to a notary for $65 because by law, you can charge $30 for the notarization, and of course, there was a traveling fee that we included that we gave to our notary. We had a little bit of kickback from that from a wedding officiant that was just so beside herself that we were charging $65. And I explained to her that you're not officiating a wedding. So I want to talk about the difference of the two. I mean, there's a clear-cut difference, but obviously this is a hot topic for wedding officiants. She felt like we were being cheap and not charging enough, which isn't really the case. If somebody comes to you and says, I want to just have this signed, even if it's in your home office or your office or wherever you are at, by law, you can only charge $30. So there's that. Yes, tack on a traveling fee if you're going, but why turn away business and insist on, charging them the wedding ceremony package, which we do as well.
Production, right. There is a production. You are going to an event, a venue. You are maybe meeting with them beforehand. You're going over the vows. Yeah. That's a production, okay? Yes,
and
that's a $300 plus deal.
$500, whatever you want to charge.
We do them on the beach, the whole bit. But there's also people who come by our office and are like, hey, we're ready. Can you read it, do it? Yes, of course, this is the fee. It doesn't make any sense to tell them, I'm sorry, this is a $300 deal. That's the only way we do it. That would be ridiculous. You're not meeting the customers. You're not listening to your customers. So.
And to add insult to injury, this specific wedding officiant called a notary who does that, who will just sign off on a marriage certificate, called us stampers. Tried to belittle us by calling us just stampers. But here's the way we see it is you don't leave money on the table. You meet the client, you meet their needs. You always say yes and be of help. Maybe that's all they could afford to do. Why would you go in and insult them and say you can only charge the $300 plus for the ceremony when all they want is just a quick signature?
Right. It would be the same thing. It'd be likened to going to an oil change place and them saying, well, we only do it with brakes and transmission and the whole bit, so it's a $400 bill. Well, no, I'm looking for the $50 oil change because I need an oil change. No, we only do this. So,
and if they don't find it from you, if you turn them down, then they're going to go with somebody else. And not only that, they're going to recommend that notary that did just stamp or stamper, we're stampers. They're going to recommend you to other people if, marriages, divorces, legal documents, because now you're the person who said yes and you're open and willing. So never leave money on the table. Never say no to a client unless it's absolutely absurd. Just be giving and kind and do what you can do and meet people where they're at.
Right. And the reality is, especially as a Florida notary, you have a multitude of different things that you can do that are afforded to you. Wedding officiant obviously being one of them, but solemnizing marriages is another one of them. So is VIN verifications, et cetera, et cetera. So if you are in the notary space, you're going to find yourself doing all of these, and you should.
You should be doing
If
them
you
all.
are in the wedding officiant only space, perhaps this whole thing just seems very strange to you, but it is a reality. It is what it is. We never make somebody do something that they don't want or that doesn't fit their budget. So.
Yeah, so we just wanted to be very clear cut about the situations. If you are questioning, I know a lot of people question the law and what they can charge, and they're questioning why, you know, other people are charging more. It's because if you're going to do the ceremony and production, then you should be charging more. However, meet people where they're at.
Right.
Don't call people a stamper. That's just rude.
All right. That's it for today. We'll see you on the
God
next
bless.
one.